Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo go down around this time?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo. Woo, shot himself.
Harlem.
Dímelo, 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 mi gente. ¿Qué lo que? You already know this is Punch, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo. Shot himself, a.k.a. el adobo, el sazón, el borracho, el pastor de boxeo. Ay, ¿te gusta el merenguito? All right, baby. Ay. Dímelo. ¿Qué es lo que? Latinos Unidos, República Dominicana, Puerto Rico, México, Ecuador, everybody Perú, everybody El Salvador, everybody Cuba. Let's go, America. Let's go, let's go, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy. Págame la música, DJ Camelo, Alex Sensation, Yankee thing. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of boxing, a lot of boxing, a lot of boxing. Drama, drama, drama. Adrian Broner going after Alicia Baumgartner. Adrian Broner going after Alicia Baumgartner. Adrian Broner exposed Alicia Baumgartner, saying that she slept with Tony Harrison, Montana Love, Bunny, Easter, a bunch of dudes. Diablo, y Alicia, tú no me daste culo a mí. What happened, baby? What happened? Yo soy feo, eh. ¿Y por qué tú no me diste ese culazo a mí también? Let's go. Damn, we ain't no like that, man. She's giving it up like that? Pause. Damn, she's giving it up like that. What's good? This week we got a showdown, heavyweight showdown. Anthony Joshua, the former the former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, the best resume of the heavyweight division of this era. But you already know, man, that Francis Ngannou, man, a man's man, a fighter, a gladiator, a warrior, did his thing in the MMA, doing his thing in boxing. Because I believe that Francis Ngannou actually beat Tyson Fury, the guy that was regarded the best heavyweight champion of this era. The guy that people said that he could transition to any era, into any heavyweight era and beat everybody. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Before Francis Ngannou, they were trying to say that Tyson Fury could beat Muhammad Ali, that he could beat Lennox Lewis, that he could beat Joe Frazier, that he could beat George Foreman, that he could beat Mike Tyson. They were saying all that stuff. Then Francis Ngannou that never stepped inside of a boxing ring, never wear a pair of gloves, a novice, and he got put down in the second round, embarrassing the heavyweight division of this era. And we already know that the heavyweight division of this era was already weak. But damn, that shit put a stamp on it. So it's Anthony Joshua's job to rewrite the wrong. It's Anthony Joshua's job to go out there this Friday and beat Francis Ngannou from pillar to post, not lasting more than 5 or 6 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. It's Anthony Joshua's job to bring some respect back into this heavyweight division. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. Shout out to the members. Brian Guzman in the building. Brian Guzman. Dice, they're gonna call him Subriel Matias. Hey, yo, y'all see the thumbnail? Sanchez in the building, Judge Doing in the building was good. And in the building, he said Matias was wrong from Tszyu. Wrong for his gone. Jackie Hernandez, Jackie. La reina de boxeo. Jackie. Mama so What up, Jackie? I got some news, ladies and gentlemen. I got a call and they be like, yo, hey, man, yo, Punch. We want Subriel Matias next. What about Bud? Yeah, we want Bud, but we want Subriel Matias next in June. I'm ready. I'm already in the gym. Teofimo Lopez already in the gym. Ready for Subriel. Subriel is the guy that told, hold on. I don't want to start no rumors. This is the facts. Teofimo Lopez team is ready for Subriel Matias next. That's who they want. June. Subriel Matias said that he will be prepared in late March in Abril. And all of a sudden, I'm not hearing Subriel Matias mention Teofimo Lopez's name. I'm hearing Paru. I'm hearing Elvis Rodriguez. Now I'm hearing Michel Rivera. No, better, my friend. Usted le dijo a Teofimo Lopez that you're going to be ready. You also said in an interview that you're going to send the contract to Teofimo Lopez. That you're going to do to him what you saying he did to you. Di que te mandó un contrato y tú no estabas ready. No, I'm not ready. Él me mandó un contrato porque él sabía que yo tenía la mano, me lastimé la mano y él sabía que I wasn't ready. It was not a genuine offer. Let's take it back to memories lane. Hold on right quick. Let's take it back to memories lane. Let's take it back. When Teofimo Lopez sends Subriel an offer, Matias an offer, he declined. Already know you accepted the perfect fight. There was no such thing as, all of a sudden they telling the people that we had a guarantee. Top Rank didn't guarantee the contract. No. You didn't fight Teofimo Lopez because you was negotiating with Matchroom Boxing and Amazon Prime Al Heyman. That's why you did not fight Teofimo Lopez, because you had other things on the table to sort. The perfect fight. It was the perfect fight. Just to not pick the date of February. So he was good. It's just the February 8th date. Let's make it happen by the end of March or early April. Let's give the fanaticas what they want to see. Okay. Now that Subriel Matias is signed to Eddie Hearn. Now that Subriel Matias is signed with somebody, he signed that he got backing, he got money, he got moolah. Eddie Hearn be throwing money like this around. Gave money to Regis Progress. Gave money to Devin Haney. Gave money to Miss Andre. Gave money to AJ. Gave money to Canelo Alvarez. Not so. Well, not this time. Canelo Alvarez said, "Hey, you don't got no money. I go back to PBC. No, déjame quieto ya." Subriel Matias signed with Eddie Hearn. He got money. As a matter of fact, Eddie Hearn is doing business with all promoters now. Eddie Hearn just did business with Top Rank, with the Callum Smith versus Turbiev. He's doing business with Golden Boy Promotions. Eddie Hearn is willing to do business. So why hasn't Subriel Matias sent Teofimo Lopez the offer? Oh, but Teo need to send him an offer. So Teofimo Lopez already sent him an offer when he called him cobarde. Now send that offer to Teofimo Lopez, Subriel Matias. Why are you sending Michel Rivera or suppose Subriel of Elvis Rodriguez or suppose of Peru contracts? Why are you not sending the contract to Teofimo Lopez? I mean, I smell burdo. That's what I smell. Chino in the building with the $5 super chatty party K. Me dice, Teofimo Lopez better bring Teo asthma pumps. Teofimo better bring 2 asthma pumps if he steps into the ring with Subriel Matias. Why? He's going to bring 2 asthma pumps because why? Because he's going to be running around. You're telling me that Subriel Matias is going to be running around? And we all know that Subriel Matias ain't going to be running around. We know that Subriel Matias is only a come-forward fighter. Very predictable. Doesn't slip no punches. Keeps his head in line. Bing, 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 bing. And we all know that Teofimo Lopez is a proven great fighter. Proven elite fighter. 2 division lineal tells you that Teofimo Lopez fight the best and beat the best. Fights the best and beat the best. Every time I'm looking out with the $5 super chat, I understand the hype. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand the hype. I like hype too. I hype fighters up. I don't even want to bring them down. But when we talking about Teofimo Lopez, Subriel Matias, what the hell Subriel Matias? Who he beat? Every time I talk to a new Subriel Matias fan, because I never met a Subriel Matias fan like 6 months ago. Never in my life. I'm being honest. I mean, look, new fighters emerge. But he's been fighting before Teofimo Lopez. He's been in the 140-pound division longer than Teofimo Lopez, but yet Teofimo Lopez is the lineal champion in the respective division that he been campaigning in his whole career. I understand the hype, but just be real with me. Just be real with me, because I'm real with you. I ain't never met a Subriel Matias fan 6 months ago. I never met a Subriel Matias. I've been having punch run boxing on YouTube for 5 years. Never in my time in 5 years, a group of people came over here. Hey, yo, punch. You gotta look at it's Subriel Matias, it's a Puerto Rican. When we're talking about Puerto Rican fighter, we were talking about Edgar Berlanga and Sanders Zayas, and of course the Queen Amanda Serrano. No me vengan con bulto aquí, no me vengan hablando mentira conmigo. Ahora me invito. Keep it real with yourself. Hey, you're the saddest human beings are the people that lie to themselves, because they can lie to themselves, they can lie to everybody else. I'm not saying that Subriel Matias ain't good. I'm not saying that Subriel Matias ain't dangerous. But no venga conmigo diciéndome, oh, Subriel Matias, que tío le tiene miedo. ¿Le tiene miedo a quién if he has two lineal title? ¿Tú crees que esto? Espera. Hey. You think, huh? You think this right here? Do you know how you get this? Fighters just don't get this right here. He don't got one, he got two. Fighters just don't get this just because they don't fight nobody. Señamele de Subriel Matias, a ver. He does what? Does he got this? Who has he fought? Who has he beat? Who has he challenged? Who? What gives you the brain cells to come to punch run boxing and tell me Subriel Matias lo mata Teofimo Lopez? ¿A quién, mi hermano? ¿A quién? ¿Ah? Usted está en droga, eh? Ya, dilo la verdad. Hey, yo, I'm supporting this guy because I'm Puerto Rican and I'm supporting my Puerto Rican fighter. Ya, eso es lo que tú tienes que decir. Ya, that's it. Not even me. You already know I'm Dominican. There's some people that like to bring this Dominican and Puerto Rican stuff and stuff like that. But when Hector Luis Garcia was fighting Gervonta Tank-Davis, you let it hit because Gervonta Tank-Davis is going to turn that plátano to totones. You know what I'm mentira? When Gervonta Tank-Davis was fighting, ¿quién también? The other fight. It was what was the other when Shakur Stevenson, leading up to the Shakur Stevenson versus Edgar de los Santos fight. Edgar de los Santos is Dominican as well. I spoke to Edgar de los Santos in the summer when he was supposed to get that fight with Pitbull Cruz. But I'm going to break it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. I said that Shakur Stevenson is going to beat Edgar de los Santos. Even some Dominicans going to come. Hey, yo, come on. Hey, yo, por diablo, Pons, tú sabes, apóyanos nosotros. Tú sabes que tú eres dominicano. Así no. Pero yo le digo a la gente, mire, yo no hablo mentira. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to the people. I'm going to sound stupid. Y'all want me to say that Hector Luis Garcia is going to beat Gervonta Tank-Davis? Y'all want me to be that stupid because I'm Dominican, so I got to support the Dominican fighter? I hope that they perform good. I hope they get paid good. But I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to lie to the people. Nobody come over here and tell me that Subriel Matias is going to kill these elite fighters when he haven't even fought one. He has not even fought one. He has not even fought an ex-world champion. He has not even fought a gatekeeper. No hablen mierda ustedes. Que le está ganando. Y'all don't even know who he fights. Y'all can't even pronounce their names. Karate Kid in the building. It was good. Karate Kid. Karate Kid in the building said, personally, I don't see why these people aren't jumping on Matias. With all the hype, it would sell, and it's pretty safe fight. Hey, I like it. I like Subriel Matias, but when we talking about careers and we talking about, come on, man, it's night and day, bruh. It's night and day. How dare you? Come on, man. Y'all don't want that to be. Y'all don't want people to do that to you in your respective life. Hyman dice, guerra. I like a fight with Matias and Teofimo Lopez. I want that to be next. I wanted to be in June. I wanted to be in Puerto Rican Day Parade. I wanted to be in Madison Square Garden, New York City. Whatever. A fight is a fight. I don't give a damn where it happens. So Teofimo Lopez want the fight to happen in Honduras. Let it happen in Honduras. I don't give a damn. I want to see the fight. But now I want to see Subriel Matias be real and send Teofimo Lopez the contract, like Teofimo Lopez send you the contract when you called them Ecobarde. I don't want to hear. I'm tired of hearing this Paru and hearing other opponents when Subriel Matias' job is to send Teofimo Lopez the goddamn contract. Why y'all not pressuring Subriel Matias to send the contract? Wasn't he a cobarde? Oh, because you letting him run like Jermaine Ortiz, but outside of the ring. Huh? You letting him run. And Matias may not run inside of the ring, but it seemed like he's running outside of the ring. Huh? Y'all mad I'm keeping it real? It's not my resume, it's his resume. It's not. Well, y'all mad? Y'all mad that Teofimo Lopez in 15, 14 fights became world champion? Is it my fault that Teofimo Lopez knocked out Richard Comey and then followed up and beat Vasily Lomachenko, who was regarded pound for pound 1, 2, 3? You can flip it around. Is it my fault that he jumped up to the 140-pound division and beat Sando Martin, who retired Michael Garcia, the 4th division world champion, and then he followed up when everybody thought that he was going to lose in the underdog, and he beat Josh Taylor, who was the king in the 140-pound division in the same division that Subriel Matias has been competing his whole career? Is it me? Am I lying? Who Subriel Matias be? I'll wait for 1 minute and compare me the ranked fighters that Teofimo Lopez fought in his career. Compare it to Subriel Matias. Let me know who the killer is. Let me know who the best is. As a matter of fact, Subriel Matias killed the man in the ring when he was performing on the Teofimo Lopez card. How you performing on the Teofimo Lopez card? Where you been at? 32 years old. He's older than everybody. He's older than Devin Haney. He's older than Ryan Garcia. He's older than Teofimo Lopez. He's older than Boots Ennis. He's older than Gary Antoine Russell. He's older than Rowley. He's older than Javante Tan Davis. Motherfucker, Subriel Matias is 1 year younger than Canelo Alvarez, the 4th division world champion, super middleweight undisputed. King Nello versus a.k.a. Caratelo, a.k.a. Cash Nello, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the fuck out of here, man. If you think that Subriel Matias just gonna put hands and go on to beat Teofimo Lopez is a 2 lineal champion of the world. He was doing time. That's not my fault. If you want to commit crime, that's not nobody's fault. That's nobody's fault. Oh, yo, he went to jail. I don't give a fuck if he went to jail. That's his fault. Stop doing petty crimes. Stop being a menace to society. I don't give a damn. Should have been a good citizen like a Teofimo Lopez, and maybe we'll be talking about it. Still, what made him when? Let me see. I'm tired of hearing that same old narrative. He went to jail. Stop it, Punch. Dame la cárcel. Deja, Punch. I was sending him commissary. Shut up. Hunter of the Hunt. Yo, Punch. Con los 20 pesos. Dice, yo, Punch. Don't mean to change the subject, but did you watch the fight hype video I was telling you about where Lonnie B said he was there at Tank and Haney sparring session? I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't see what he said, though. I didn't see what he said. At the end of the day, man, it's sparring. At the end of the day, Devin Haney got his money, right? Bill Haney got his money. Yeah, at the end of the day, after that sparring session, Javante Tan Davis got signed to Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather bought Javante Tan Davis a house, a car, gave him a contract. And right now, we're talking about Javante Tan Davis of this generation as the cash cow or the sport of boxing of this young generation. But so let's to be real, who actually won? Who actually won? There's people that's talking about that was an edit sparring session. That was an edit sparring session. But yeah, we saw that what Adrian Broner actually said when he said that he stopped the fight because he felt that Devin Haney was getting was getting lit up. And he said, F the money. Basically. You feel me? He felt like, you know what I'm saying? He needed a. But anyway. Good looking out, Hunter the Hunt, my brother, Hunter the Hunt. Good looking now. Appreciate you. God bless you. Special guest in the building. Special guest in the building. What's good? That's the man. Hold on. Let me take this photo off. Let me take this photo off.
I'm about to say, you're going to let T.O. take your shine like that?
Let me take this photo off. We got Coach Anthony, one of the most prestige trainer, world-renowned trainer, Coach Anthony, head coach of Raymond Ford. Beautiful performance by Raymond Ford. Beautiful execution. Beautiful instructions. Let's go, Coach Anthony. Let's go, baby. Applauso.
How you doing, bro?
What's good, man? What's good, Coach? What a win.
You know, we're super happy over here. We're still in the moment. You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole team, Coach Reg, Coach Ray Stevenson, and Raymond Ford for doing his thing, man, and following the plan and executing.
Yo, that was a beautiful fight. Let me give you your grams. Oh shit. Hold on. Give me a second. That was a great performance by Raymond Ford. You know, a lot of people feel like he was that he needed that 12 round. He needed that spring. He needed to to build up like it was not going to be handed to him. He was losing in the scorecards, and your instructions in the championship rounds down the stretch. I wouldn't. Is it fair to say I don't want to discredit the other coaches? Shout out to all the coaches and stuff like that. But that the instructions after the 10th round and after the 9th round, matter of fact, throughout the fight, but those championship rounds, if it wasn't for those instructions, the concise instructions that you gave him, you got to win every fight. You got to win all these rounds. You got to win. You got to land all the punches. You got to be first. You got to be first. You got to, that motivation. Did you feel that he was losing the fight? Did you feel he was winning the fight in those championship rounds?
I wasn't scoring the fight, but I knew it was too close to take any chances. I felt like Ray lost the first 3 rounds, and I knew that right there was a bad start. Mm-hmm. I watched the fight on video. I think he looked a lot better on camera than I felt in the corner. In the corner, it felt like, man, I don't know who's winning these rounds. And I already know that we're in a top-ranked card. I already know that we're the B-side opponent. Mm-hmm. I already know, all these things going in. Yeah. And I didn't want to take any chances. So that's the reason why, the first 3 rounds, I kind of let Ray fill him out. He got caught with a couple of left hands in the first round. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he got back to the corner, I told him, I said, listen, man, he's timing your jab over the top. So I'm going to need you to bring that right hand up a little bit and pay it and be sharp. And he was like, he ain't got no pop. I said, I don't care about that. Stay sharp. Second round, it was whatever. Third round, he was doing good. And then he got clipped in like the last 30 seconds. I feel like that might have gave the other guy the round. So I told him at the end of the third round, I said, listen, man, we got to start putting our punches together. We got to start, being first and being aggressive and things of that nature. And he followed the game plan. You know what I mean? Even though he was coming forward, I still felt like he could have punched more. So that's why I kept on, because he was doing a lot of catching and he would wait and then he'd throw. But I know even though he's not getting hit, I know that they're giving the other guy the rounds. I know that they're giving him the benefit of the doubt that the other guy's punching more. If that would have been in the gym, it would have felt like a one-sided spar, because I know those punches are being blocked. Mm-hmm. But in a championship fight, I know that people are not looking at that. They're looking at who's punching, who's not punching as much. Yeah. And that's why I was so vocal in the corner.
Yeah, his opponent, and I'm no disrespect to his opponent. I really don't know how to pronounce his last name. But he's Komatov. He was comatose in the 12th round. Komatov was comatose in the 12th round by Raymond Ford. But I know that he got a good amateur background, and you can see that he know how to garner the points. He know how to try to win these fights in terms of out punching him, not necessarily outlanding him, but he was throwing more shots than Raymond Ford, and Raymond Ford was more of the counter puncher throughout the fight. And in those championship rounds, he needed to be the guy that's pressing the fight, sitting down on his punches, because he was kind of. I think who was landing the most effective shots that the naked eye would see was actually Raymond Ford. Of course, at the beginning of the fight, especially the second round and third round, it was what was his name again? Komatov.
Yeah,
Komatov. But came down the stretch and did what he had to do. When they asked you to help him out, or when they invited you to be in the corner of Raymond Ford several fights ago, what did Raymond Ford you felt needed, and what did he realize that he needed you, or the coach that felt that they needed, help us out. We need your expertise in with Raymond Ford to take us to the next level. What did he need before when you started working with Raymond Ford?
Yeah, first and foremost, big shout out to my brother, Coach Reg, who's been with Raymond Ford since the amateurs. Really, I think he helped him in the National Golden Gloves, and then and basically turned him pro, and been with him for his first, I think, 10 fights or 11 fights before I came aboard. And he called me several times to help him. I was in the process, especially during the COVID time, kind of like thinking of relocation. I think you even know that I was considering going to Florida. And, I was kind of like not sure where I was going to be. And one thing about me is like, I don't like to take anything that I do. If I'm not doing it to the full capacity, I don't want to just say yes. So I kind of kept on saying no. I kind of seen that it wasn't going as fast as I wanted to as far as my relocation goes. It was kind of slow moving due to obviously this market and everything like that. So I seen the Eddie Vasquez fight, and I remember that was the fight that Raymond. A lot of people felt Raymond lost that fight.
Yeah,
and so when I watched the fight, I
that was the
noticed
draw. That was the draw. The one. The
no,
one
I think Eddie. I think no. The draw was actually against
Texas.
somebody else. I think they gave Raymond the fight. Yeah, they gave Raymond a fight against Eddie Vasquez. Very close fight, competitive fight. Could have went either way depending on what you look at. But I saw that Ray was kind of having a habit of laying on the ropes, staying square on the ropes. Sometimes he would abandon his jab. I didn't see much inside game. So I told Reg, like, yo, these are the things that I see on the phone. I literally told him this on the phone. And then he said, yo, man, I'm gonna ask you again, will you come down and help us? And I said, you know what, bro? Yeah. And that's when I wanted to help. That's when I wanted to jump on board more than ever, because I seen all the hate comments, all the people saying, yo, Raymond, you a bum. You ain't beat this guy. Eddie got robbed. All these negative comments on Raymond, and me knowing Raymond, knowing how talented he is, I'm like, yo, all he got to do is focus on a couple of things, and this kid is going to be right back on top. I already knew that. So, and Raymond is self-motivated and an easy fighter to coach, very coachable, very self-motivated, very like, you don't got to babysit him. So it was he's really an easy fighter for me to coach. And he listens to me, man. We started off on the right foot. Like, I asked for him to do something and he does it. Very professional. We're not like too kiddie with each other. Like, like when I work with Tevin Farmer, big shout out to Tevin Farmer. We were like freaking best friends at the time. Like, we were too friendly with each other, where me and Raymond got that separation of coach, fighter. And I like that a whole lot better when it comes to producing and getting results.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Tito with the $5 super chat. Said, I saw Coach Anthony at the Cherry Hill Mall and told my father-in-law that he punked Ocho Cinco. Shout out to Tito. Hey, yo, when we gonna get that? Hey, when we gonna get that fight between you and Ocho Cinco, man?
Man, me and Ocho Cinco, man, we're on good terms. He actually DM'd me and told me, Coach, I want you to train me. Earlier last year, he shot me a personal message, and he acted like we never even had words. He was just like, yo, Coach, what's up, man? I want to train with you. I'm like, yo, bro, you do. I was like, you remember who I am? Like, I had to like bring it up. Like, I don't know if he's thinking I'm somebody else or what's going on. And he kind of
you'll probably catch him back in the mitts. You know what I'm saying? You train him and then hit him with the mitts. Yeah. You remember when you said that?
Listen. At that moment, it was hot. It was something that could have happened, but it never transpired. I said it to Leonard Ellaby. I told it to everybody. It never transpired. And me, bro, you know me, man. I'm focused on being a coach anyway. I'm not focused on boxing nobody in the ring. But if the money was right, you best believe I would have jumped in there with Ocho Cinco, man. But at this point, I got nothing but respect for him. He was a hell of a football player. He had the guts to get into a boxing ring, and he's very respectful and a very nice person. So I would be wrong to talk negatively on Ocho Cinco.
Facts. Shout out to Savage. Shout out to Garcia in the building, Charles of the Cheese, my brothers. Shout out to all the members in Punch Drunk Boxing. We out here with Coach Anthony, prestige trainer, world-renowned trainer of Raymond Ford, who won an incredible fight, 126 champion, WBA champion, looking to move up as well. How was the cut? Because of course, he was emphasizing the cut before the fight and after the cut weight. I mean, before the fight and after the fight. As a coach, what do you think is the appropriate next move? He is a champion. I think there's a lot of work at 130. He could unify at 126. What you feel is the right move as a coach?
I think he can make 126 if he has to. And I think that if the right fight presents itself for the right money at 126, he did just pick up a world title. I don't have a problem with him pushing for one more. I know he did say it has to be quick because he doesn't want to like gain too much weight and it becomes hard for him to cut the weight. So it's understandable. I'm not in his body. I don't feel what he's feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I know that weight cuts can be really really taxing and draining, and they fucking suck. But this is a business. He is a professional. And if the money is right at 126 for him to fight somebody and potentially maybe unify or something like that, I think he should entertain it. But if he can make the same kind of money and he can move up to 130 and, you know, grab up another belt, be a 2-division world champion, I say go to 130 because, you know, for me, he can box anybody at 130. The weight would not be an issue. Those guys being bigger than him would not be an issue. He's boxing guys those bigger than that in the gym all the time. So I know Raymond's ability. So either or, but you know, I would say it would all come down to the money at this potential for a decision like that. It really comes down to the money. Like, is it worth going through that struggle for this money? If it's not, let's just go where I know you're more comfortable. But the money would have to be a substantial difference in money.
I think a lot of people right now, especially after the performance and O'Shaquie Foster, you know what I'm saying, he started tweeting. I think that's probably the fight that, you know, both these guys got good momentum, and that would be an explosive fight just because of the momentum of both fighters and the way that they came through in the championship rounds, Foster in his fight and Raymond Ford. So, you know what I'm saying, I started giving O'Shaquie Foster a nickname. I call him 12 round because in the 12th round, the dude just shows up. Right. And we saw what Raymond Ford could do. So that momentum will be a good fight. Raymond Ford, he actually during camp, you know, he does run his camp a little untraditionally, right? He went down to Texas. He went down to Houston to work with Shakur Stevenson, a fellow Puerto Rican, fellow Boricua like Coach Anthony. But that's kind of odd during the camp. How do you feel about that? You know, him leaving the camp with y'all to go down there to Texas and like finish off or whatever. Explain what Raymond Ford and the way that he trains his camp.
When I got with Raymond Ford, that's what he was already doing. It was very new to me. I've never had a fighter leave 3 weeks before the fight to go finish camp and cut weight. Granted, I have been working with Raymond Ford for about 10 months prior to that here in the New Jersey, Philadelphia area. And then he leaves for the last month to go finish up, get some different sparring, spar with guys like Shakur. He trains with Teofimo Stevenson, which is Shakur's cousin. He's more of a strength and conditioning coach, but he's learning the boxing game as well. So he's helping Raymond with the boxing when he's down there, and he's doing the strength and conditioning. I can't say I'm crazy about it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not something that I'm like, if I had it my way, not something that I would necessarily do, but this is what he has done. I did step into his career, I believe 11 or 12 fights, and I didn't even come in as the head coach. You have to understand, I kind of came in as somebody to help out and help him with his deficiencies. And what ended up happening is the way me and him communicate in the corner has been so good in the gym, not just in the fights, in the gym, that he feels
chemistry.
Yeah, he feels comfortable with me giving the instructions in the corner. So like when people ask me, are you the head trainer? Or they ask me and Reg are like, we just came to the conclusion that we both are the head trainer. If you ask him, he's the head trainer. If you ask me, I'm the head. Like, it's really like we work so well as a team, me and Coach Reg. Whatever he's doing in Houston is kind of just like, it's kind of like what's been his tradition. I'm sure once he's making more money and stuff like that, he'll bring the whole team out. I think there might be something to do with that as well at that time, because obviously you know how the game goes. But yeah, man, if it was up to me, man, you know, Punch, I want to be there for the whole entire camp, because you don't know what happens in the last 3 weeks. He might have been doing stuff that I didn't necessarily would do it that way. And that can affect the fight, and that falls on me because I'm the guy who's in the corner, and they're going to look at me and say, hey, man, you're the coach. So, you know,
because they could actually, you know what I'm saying, be like, oh, you a yes man. How you gonna leave your fighter in his championship fight?
Yeah,
because think about it. If let's say if you would have lost in the cards, right? If it would have gone to the whole 12 rounds and there would have been a stoppage, you thought you would think that you would have been like, damn, yo, it was those 3 weeks. Like, you know, somebody was going to look for some type of excuse. Or go back to the drawing board. Like, damn, you see, man, if you just would have stood those. You would have felt like that.
I'm not crazy. Trust me, bro. Trust me. I'm with you. I'm not crazy. And not that I don't trust Shakur Stevenson. Not that I don't trust Teofimo Stevenson. Obviously, Shakur Stevenson is arguably the best boxer in the world. His cousin is doing a fantastic job with his strength and conditioning. He's very attentive and he's very involved. And I have nothing negative to say about the Stevenson family or anybody in Houston. He has actually some really good sparring partners in Houston where he spars with Keyshawn Davis, Shakur. I mean, guys that we don't even have access to here in Philly. So I can understand just the camaraderie of wanting to be around this young energy of top fighters, lifts his spirits, makes him wants to train. So I totally understand. But see, I'm 20 years older than those guys. So I'm looking at things from a bird eye's view. That's why in the corner, you know, I'm the way I am. Like when I talked to Ray, he was like, I felt like you were panicking in the corner. I said I was not panicking in the corner. I was very urgent because I understood what the judges are looking at. My intuition was talking to me. This is something that you can only get with age, something that you can only get with experience. And even though those young guys over there are fantastic at what they do, I still got that age difference where I feel like if I'm there, I can help and I can make sure that we can go ahead and, you know, those small details is what separates world championships. You saw what happened in this fight. Those little details. It doesn't got to be like I got to come in and make all these drastic changes, but I might see one little thing. I might see one little thing here that completely changes the trajectory to a fight. So, yeah, hopefully moving forward, we're in camp the whole way through. You know what I mean?
And I felt that's what was needed, especially in those championship rounds. Your instruction throughout the fight. There's other coaches that, you know, even when he said, "Yo, I won the round," and he said, "Yeah, you won the round, but you got to get these 2 rounds." Like it wasn't like keep on doing what you're doing. You got to do more, you know. And I was very proud of how you gave those instructions. I'm very proud of Raymond Ford the way that he executed those instructions.
And it's funny because a lot of people look at me as a defensive coach. I think you've asked me that in the past. Yo, coach, would you consider yourself a defensive? I've always told people I'm not a defensive coach. I'm an all-around coach. It just depends on what the situation is. And in this particular situation, I understood the assignment was we needed to be first. We needed to let our hands go. I wasn't telling him to move around, slip and slide, and counterpunch. I was telling him, you need to bring it to this guy. You need to push the bully backwards. And that was the strategy going into this fight. You know, the adjustment that was made, I should say.
Yes. Charge of the Cheese, 50K subs. We doing 30K. Let's go, Charge of the Cheese. Yeah, man. We gotta help the need. Like, share, subscribe. Punch Run Boxing. Yo. Of course, people want to talk about and want your opinion about other things that's happening in the sport of boxing. Of course, we saw Puerto Rico. You Puerto Rican, Amanda Serrano, you know, had Puerto Rican lit out there, but she didn't get the chance to fight. But you being
what happened exactly? Because it was the same night as
it was the same. So of course, it was her night. She broke the record in attendance in Puerto Rico, but when she was doing her hair, like 2 days before the fight, something got in her eye and, you know, it got infected and the doctors just didn't want to pass her. You know what I'm saying? So she waited till they tried even in the last minute to get the passing from the doctors, from the commission. The commission just wasn't willing to pass her because her eye was infected. So they had to cancel her bout. They didn't cancel the event. They had to cancel her bout and they given everybody the refund and things of that nature. But just looking the hype in Puerto Rican boxing, and you already know that Puerto Rican boxing hasn't been where it should be for a while. What do you feel where Puerto Rican boxing is and where it could go, and the fighters that could outside of Amanda Serrano? I feel like she's been holding it down. Who you think as a Puerto Rican? Who you think is the guy that's going to you know what I'm saying? Grab that torch. The how you call it, torch? Torch.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I mean, right now I have to say Matias because he's the one who's hurting guys. He's the one who's knocking guys out. You know, I'm not a fan of his, you know, head movement, how he comes forward. He's a little bit sloppy, but he's also like a truck. He kind of reminds me of Alter Betterby for that division. So it's kind of like a guy who he's not so pleasant on the eyes, but what he's able to accomplish in his fights is very impressive. And for me, man, he's a definitely a guy who you would have to say. I mean, unfortunately, you got Xander Zayas. He's a pretty good young kid, young fighter. I still feel like I need to see more out of him. Of course, we got Shakur Stevenson, but nobody's going to really consider him a Puerto Rican. Everybody's going to look at him more like a black fighter. So at the end of the day, when you talk about the Puerto Rican fighters, it's kind of
Edgar Belanga's lined up for Canelo. Edgar Belanga lined up for Canelo.
Yeah, we got Edgar Belanga. I think Edgar Belanga he would be a fantastic face for the Puerto Rican community. But I just think that I don't know there's something there that's missing, and I say that in the most utmost respect to Edgar Belanga, but there's something missing. I don't know what it necessarily is. It could be the competition level that he had coming up. It could be the coaching. It could be something. I can't put my finger on it, but I just feel like for him to be an all-time great Puerto Rican fighter, this is something missing with him. And I'm not saying he can't find it, but as of right now, I don't see that. Now, as far as the Puerto Rican culture as a whole is kind of like we were reigning on top for many years, and I would say we've been pretty quiet over the past decade since Miguel Cotto. Really, I feel like we've been pretty quiet. But I mean, I feel like every race, at some point they have their moments where they're up and down. So right now the Puerto Rican community just needs a guy, and Matias might be that guy.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people, all of a sudden, they are saying Subriel Matias, and I was talking about Subriel Matias earlier before you got on, of course, because there's a potential fight with him and Michel Rivera, potential fight with him and Elvis Rodriguez. People still want to see him versus Teofimo Lopez. He signed with Matchroom, and Eddie Hearn. What do you know about, let's say, how because we know that Raymond Ford is signed to Matchroom. How do he feels? And maybe probably there's a question for him, but you his coach. How's the hospitality when it comes to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing?
Well, I mean, Matchroom Boxing are we talking about for Raymond?
Yeah, for Raymond.
Yeah, I mean, overall, they pick Raymond up out the amateurs. They helped build his career. They put good opponents in front of him. They gave him a lot of TV time, a lot of exposure. His managers have a great relationship with Matchroom, so I know overall it's been pretty good. The little disappointing though that they lost the purse bid to Oderbek. Yeah, Top Rank. They lost the purse bid to a fighter who wasn't even signed to Top Rank. That's a little questionable. So
I question that too, bro. I question that too.
Yeah, that's a little questionable. I don't really know why they would allow that if they really believed in Ray the way we all did. However, they did do a really good job of Raymond leading up to this point, putting the right guys in front of him and giving him a lot of TV time. So it's one of those things where, when it's time to re-sign, because I know Ray is reaching that point where it's time to make a decision if he's going to re-sign or go with somebody else. He'll take all those things into account, into consideration, and we'll see what's being offered. And I'm not the business guy. I'm just a coach, man. I don't know shit about the business side. I don't even get into it. But that's just my personal thoughts on it.
Yeah, because I'm like, damn, his first championship fights, and you ain't going to win the purse bid and make sure that the work and the investment that we put in to get to this point.
I'm actually glad it went the way it did, man. Timothy Bradley, when I walked into the fighters meeting, Timothy Bradley came up to me and said, "Yo, you're a legend. I'm a fan. I'm such a big fan of you, Coach Anthony." Imagine a legend saying that to me, like.
Yeah.
The amount of hospitality he had from the very beginning, and then the way he spoke about my corner work, and the way he spoke about Raymond throughout the telecast. I mean, that was Top Rank's guy doing that. You know what I mean? So in my thing, I'm just like, man, everything worked out like how it was supposed to work out at the end of the day. So I'm not mad that we fought on the Top Rank card whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man. Coda, my condolences, my brother. My condolences to your sis, man. I'm just watching it right now, my brother. Sorry to hear that. You already know, man. Hit me up on that email, man. Hit me up, brother. Here for you, brother. So you look again. Raymond Ford did a wonderful thing. Your team did a wonderful thing. What do you feel about now? You as what's the feedback that you're getting after that type of performance? I know when the fighters loses, the first one to blame is the coach. When the fighters win, y'all the last one to get the credit. So how's been the feedback with Raymond Ford's win? And and a lot of and what was the feedback? Yeah, what was the feedback? What people were saying about you as a coach? Everybody knocking on the door. They knocking on the door. You need an assistant, my brother. Huh?
I mean, a big shout out to Bo Mac, man. He contacted me, Terrence Crawford's head trainer, and he didn't even have my number. I don't know how he got it. He texted me, "Yo, this is Bo Mac, Coach Anthony. Just want to give you your flowers. What a fantastic job." I was like, "Thank you. How did you get my number?" Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, Yellow Pages. We were cracking some jokes. And then he said, "Nah, I just asked around, but when somebody does a great job like that, I got to reach out to them." And I'm like, damn, that was humbling. I mean, you got arguably the best fighter in boxing right now, and you're a coach, and you're reaching out to me as a coach just to, pay homage, pay respect. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Timothy Bradley, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri.
Trainer of the year. I think he's trainer of the year.
Who?
Bomac.
Yeah, trainer of the year. I got the trainer of the year contacting me, giving me flowers. You know what I'm saying? Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi, Timothy Bradley did an interview, I think, on Pro Box TV or something like that. Mm-hmm. They spoke highly of me the whole entire time. Teddy Atlas spoke highly of the corner work between us as a team, as a unit, on his podcast. So what more can I ask for?
It's about damn time.
What more can I ask for? I mean, I saw a gentleman in here who said he's from the Bronx. I'm looking at the comments. He said, "Who's this guy, Anthony? Never heard of him." My name is Coach Anthony. I got a YouTube channel called Coach Anthony Boxing. I have a website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. I've been a professional boxing coach for over a decade. I've been in boxing for a quarter of a century. You know what I'm saying? I know I look young, but I've been doing it that long. And the truth is, man, now people are starting to pay attention on the global scale as a sport. Like, people who are into internet instructionals and shit like that, they know who I am. Mm-hmm. But people who really pay attention to just the sport are just starting to get to know who I am, because I got a guy like Ray, and I got a chance to step in the ring and people can actually hear me verbalize my instructions, as where I worked with a world champion before by the name of Teofimo, but I was outside of the ring. So you couldn't hear anything I was saying. You didn't get a chance to really see me as a coach. You only saw me there, but you didn't really know how involved I was. So this is just a little bit different, much more exposure. But this is my second world champion on my resume. So it's still pretty dope. You know what I mean?
Hey, I've been saying it for a while, for several years. I'm like, hey, yo, fighters, knock on the door on Coach Anthony. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you are the evolution of coach and trainer. And, people shouldn't follow the trendy trainer, even though that right now you are the trending trainer right now. But meaning, like, like the shout out to all the coaches. But I'm saying, like, when everybody was going to Freddie Roach just because he was with Manny Pacquiao, everybody was going to Derrick James recently, everybody was going to Eddie Reynoso and stuff like that. And sometimes the promoters and the managers, they really don't care about the chemistry. Hey, I think that you should train with this man, and they always trying to change the team around. You know how the business of boxing goes. But I always felt that a young fighter like a Ryan or like a Tszyu, or like, that could use the
two fighters that I know you try to help me get. And unfortunately I didn't. And I know Tszyu, if he saw me on the gram, he's probably like, man, I'm never working with that motherfucker. But yo, big shout out to Teofimo Lopez. Big shout out to Jermaine Ortiz, because he's Puerto Rican. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always did feel like I would compliment those guys. I agree with you. I really believe that. And there's certain fighters that got certain styles that you can work with.
Yeah.
And both of those guys have a style that I know I could work with. But again, who am I? I'm just this guy, Coach Anthony. He teaches instructionals. Like, so it's understood when they don't pick me before Derrick James. It's understood when they go with a bigger name in the sport, because again, you're going to go with the brand, not this new brand, unless you're paying close attention. And a lot of these guys ain't paying that much attention. They just looking quick, and they're like, I'm going with that guy. He's got a guy. He's going with that guy. So hopefully I get my opportunity to showcase what I could do on the world-class level. We already did, but continue to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my brother Rapstar Boxing Knowledge, the voice of UK London, bruv. But in a sport where it's very dangerous, I think fighters should be on that pickiness. I think fighters should be like, I need this chemistry, because again, I don't want to disrespect any other coaches. If it wasn't for your voice and the way that you gave those instructions and those concise and those in that minute, because I seen coaches freeze. I seen fighters say, "Yo, he didn't give me the type of instructions and stuff like that." Like he froze, because sometimes they live the moment as well. Sometimes they're not up for that moment. The crowd, the adrenaline, the nervousness, not knowing how to say something because you don't want to discourage your fighter. You don't want to make him feel like he's losing and then take his confidence away. That's why I like the way your instruction was with Raymond Ford.
Well, can I add to why I feel like I'm that way? I've been telling this to people for a long time, and of course, people, you got to show, right? And this is a sport where you can't just talk; you got to show. But the truth is this, man. Financially, I don't need fighters. I do well for myself. I've been a business. I'm not just a boxing coach. I consider myself an entrepreneur. So when I'm in a position where I don't need the fighter for any financial gain, I mean, don't get me wrong. I need money like everybody. And I would love when these guys make millions to get a percentage of that. Let me not make it sound like I don't need the money. But my point is, I'm not in this just for the money. I'm in this to truly win. I'm in this to truly build a legacy and do that. And if a fighter never hired me again, I will make money. A lot of professional coaches in boxing, they will not make any money if they don't have a fighter. They will completely be broke because they don't have a business mind. They don't have a go-get mentality the way I do. So they have to kind of sell themselves out a little bit. I don't have to sell myself out to make money. I know how to make money. So at the end of the day, I don't have to kiss ass. I don't have to be a yes man. And I think Raymond knows that. He's seen me, how I get down. So he knows when I say something, I'm saying it from a genuine place of love, and that I genuinely want him to win, because when he wins, I win. Look, this will be a whole different conversation if he lost.
Hell yeah.
This will be a whole different conversation. It'll be, yo, coach, what's up, man? I thought you knew what you was doing. So now it becomes a thing where people are like, okay, nah, this coach does know what the fuck he's doing. And I'm going to make sure, listen, you can get mad at me all you want. Like I told Ray, I know you're the one doing the work, but you got to do the work. I told him that in one of the rounds. I said, you're the one doing the work, but you got to do the fucking work, man, if you want to win this fight. And I wasn't going to lie to him, man. And I won't ever lie to Ray. I don't give a fuck if he's making 10 million, 20 million. At the end of the day, man, this is when we're all not here no more. People are going to go back. They're going to watch those fights and be like, and I want them to speak highly on my name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out to Coach to also Coach Kevin Cunningham, because Kevin Cunningham, he also said the same thing. Like, he don't take shit from nobody. He'll kick out $1 million trainer out his gym and things of that nature. So I understand exactly what you're saying. There's certain people that's in position not to take the shit. But again, great performance by Raymond Ford. Hopefully he gets those top fights, those top dollars. He earned it. His performance transitioned to life itself. It was a classic. It was a classic performance. What do you feel about now there's certain people out there that's been a little bit felt that the stoppage was a little bit controversial. In my opinion, I felt that it was just due. Like, people want the ref to save the fighter until the bell rings, so the fighter could go into the next round, even though that was the 12th round. That's not the ref's job. The ref's job is to save the fighter from further punishment. It's not for the ref to look at the clock. All right, let me give him a chance to beat the time. You feel me? And when he turned, when he got hurt prior to when they stopped him, they call it a knockdown. I mean, they call it a slippage. Even though that I felt like it was a knockdown, but of course Raymond Ford did push off. But if he didn't push off, I think he was going to go down anyway. If you could tell when he stood up that he still didn't have his faculties, and when he connected one on that right hand, he turned his head, boom, his chest hit the rope. Raymond Ford connected on the left hand. So in my opinion, I felt like it was a good stoppage. And what do you feel about the stoppage and the people that are saying that?
All right. So for anybody who has an issue with the stoppage, let's just think about it for a second. For one, he was hurt. He had his back turned. For two, there's 7 seconds left. how many seconds just passed? 4 maybe? Imagine getting punched by a professional fighter who got you hurt for 7 more seconds. Going all out, full adrenaline. He knows that he has an opportunity to knock you out. Come on, man. 7 seconds, he can end your life. Not just end the fight, end your life. So the referee did the best thing he could do. He saved Odebek's life. Odebek was hurt. He literally retreated.
Yeah.
He retreated. He ran to the other side of the rope. He wasn't off balance. He retreated. And off that retreat, he turned his back and exposed himself and got hit with a left hand. The referee jumped in at the perfect time.
Yep. I had to slow it down for a couple of people. People didn't see that when he was already on the ropes, Raymond Ford came around and connected with his left. He had to stop the fight. I do think that certain people that want to say that it was controversial, it was as soon as they saw the scorecard and saw that he was ahead in 3 scorecards, they feel like, oh, see, if he would have finished the fight, he would have won the fight. But in all actuality, like I said before, the referee's job is not to look at the time to say, I'm going to save this fighter to, that's not the referee's job. So I do agree. I agree with the stoppage. And even it hurt me, even when Christina Cruz, my homegirl, it hurt me. But at the same time, I said, but damn, from the naked eye and the speed, it just looked bad when she turned around, she dug down and started walking towards the rope. What does a referee going to do?
Well, in her situation was different because first of all, she tripped. She didn't get hit with nothing.
That's why I said the naked eye. That's what I said.
Yeah. Second of all, she did one of these, which showed she was looking for the referee to step in. Unfortunately, the referee didn't see the trip and called that an abandonment of the fight. But truthfully speaking, she didn't get hit. So her situation was it just sucked. It was like, it just sucked. But in Raymond's situation, he hurt him. Honestly, let's be real. If Raymond would have got the knockdown that he deserved, because he really did knock him down, the referee called it a slip. He might have lost the fight because he would have gave this fighter an 8 count, and there would have been not enough time for Raymond to go in there and stop him. The fact that the referee called it a slip gave Raymond an opportunity to have an additional 10 seconds or 7 seconds to run down on him. So the truth is, God worked that night, because if the referee calls that a knockdown, most likely the round ends, Raymond lose by 1 point. So the truth is, that goes to show you that the guy was really hurt. That's why Raymond was able to finish him, because he really hurt him. The referee thought it was a slip, but he was really hurt the whole time. So he hurt him even before he got up. He was already hurt.
And that's exactly what I was saying, because I would tell the ref is the 4th judge. The ref saw, even when he got up, when he called the slippage, that he started moving back, and then he leaned to the ropes. So he didn't have his faculties. So the referee knew that he was hurt, even though he called the slippage. He knew he was hurt. He was landing that right hand, land that right again. He basically turned around and started heading to the ropes. Right, that's the referee's job. The referee's job is to save the fighter. You know what I'm saying? Not to save him from finishing the fight. That's not his job to let him finish the fight just because to finish the fight.
His job is to protect the fighter
from further punishment, right? Because he was already punished. So there's some great fights lined up. Let me see your expertise, briefly your expertise. We got the heavyweight battle between Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. I did feel like Francis Ngannou did. I feel like he beat Tyson Fury. That's number one. I felt like he beat Tyson Fury by doing that, a guy that never stepped inside the boxing ring, never wear a pair of gloves professionally, fighting arguably the best heavyweight of this era. I don't like what do you feel about Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou? He better bring some respect back to this heavyweight era. What you feel?
Yeah, I think that Anthony Joshua is going to win this weekend. I'm going to go with experience in this fight. I do think that Francis Ngannou is a very tough, strong fighter. Great chin, very dangerous until the final bell. Kind of like Raymond Ford, he can knock out somebody with the last 5 seconds of the round. Like he's the guy that until the fight's over, don't count your eggs. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I just think experience will be the difference in this fight. I think Anthony Joshua has some data to run with. He saw the Tyson Fury fight. He saw how good this guy really is. He can prepare properly for it. Where I think Tyson Fury underestimated him. He didn't prepare properly as much as he says he did. And when he got in there, he was like, oh shit, this guy is a fucking animal. This guy is much stronger than I thought. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I thought that Tyson Fury won the fight by 2 points. Meaning you may have a difference in opinion there, but it was a very close fight, too close for a guy at the level of Tyson Fury to have with a guy who's never had a professional boxing match before, or at least very limited boxing experience. So my whole thing is Anthony Joshua has more information. And I think that he's going to let experience show in this fight. I think the jab will be the difference in this fight. I think that Anthony Joshua will establish his jab. I think he will be defensively responsible. I think he's going to take his time. And I don't think he's going to rush anything. And I think he should be able to pull out a decision.
I'm rooting for Anthony Joshua, but I don't trust his chin. But I'm rooting for him. I just don't trust the chin. Because I'm rooting for boxing. I'm rooting for the respect of this heavyweight division. Not saying that I don't respect. I like Francis Ngannou, and I feel like he is good for the sport of boxing. I feel like he brings more to the sport of boxing, in my opinion, and make it more interesting, especially his performance versus Tyson Fury. And that's why we got the Anthony Joshua fight. Another fight that a lot of people are talking about, but they're talking about Ryan Garcia not. People are saying that he's probably not fit to fight because the things that he's saying out there. But
very weird stuff coming from Ryan Garcia. I don't know what to take of it.
So what you think about the fight, and then what you think about the things that he's been saying, and what do you feel about the fight and Ryan Garcia as a whole? Not a whole.
I picked Devin Haney to beat Ryan Garcia because of the jab. I think the jab and the footwork and the defense is the key to beat for Devin to beat Ryan Garcia. I think he has a better jab. I think he's faster on his feet. I think he has better defense. I just think he's a better boxer. I think Ryan Garcia has a puncher's chance. He's very fast, very explosive. He could throw a hook from nowhere. You don't know where it's coming from. He got good power. But I also don't think he sets it up. I don't think he sets up his power. I think that he keeps his head in the middle. He keeps his chin up too high. He doesn't have good defense. His footwork is a little sloppy. So overall, I just think that Devin Haney's the better overall boxer. Now, as far as this craziness that's going on, man, I mean, I don't know what to believe, man. Like, part of me says something's wrong with him. The other part of me says, what if he's telling the truth? Like, it's just a very weird situation with Ryan Garcia right now where you just don't know what to believe. You know what I mean?
You don't know if it's promo. You don't know if it's promo. You don't know if it's true. You don't know if...
Yeah, because, I mean, we've been hearing stories of this weird stuff at the higher elite level for what? Decades already, where they'll be like, man, you know, this is what happens when you get to the top elite level, the Illuminati, this, the that, the other. Like, it all sounds like a folk's tale. But what if it's not? True. You know? What if it's not? Like, I'm not saying it's true, but what if it's not? So, you know, I mean, what if it is? What if what he's saying is true? And then it makes you say to yourself, damn, he was telling us the fucking truth, man, and we all called him crazy. So you don't necessarily want to rule out what he's saying, but he does need to come with a little bit more, because he's saying he doesn't care. He's not afraid. He got God. Well, you're gonna have to start snitching or something, because you already went out there and said what you said. So who is it? What's going on?
MJ,
you better get on your Tekashi 6ix9ine, brother. You already opened your mouth.
He actually did mention a couple names and stuff in his tweet. MJ said, great interview, respect the hustle P. Good looking now, MJ in the building. MJ, they ain't Michael Jordan, they ain't Michael Jackson, but he's still an important MJ. Let's go. I say this because I've spoken to Ryan Garcia privately, personally, and stuff like that. And in the beginning, I'm like, all right, he's promoting the fight. And that's what my initial thought is right away. He's promoting the fight because, of course, we're thinking about Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Okay, he's promoting the fight. Damn, what he said. Damn, why he's saying that? And then I actually did forget, you know, right away, certain things that we spoke about. anytime I've spoken to Ryan Garcia, it really it had nothing to do with boxing. It had something to do with life, fatherhood, uh, um, you know, where just life itself, things that's happening outside of the sport of boxing. Never really had a really boxing conversation. And you know, I'm not gonna, of course, say what we exactly everything we talked about, but I started reading couple of of the DMs, and I said, yo, he's been talking the way he's talking now. He's been talking for 2 years. And that's why if you see my recent tweets, I'm like, yo, I'm with Ryan, because I even he's been the same guy. It's just now he's actually saying publicly. You know, there is consequences of saying these things publicly. There is certain endorsement deals that you may lose, or things of that nature. You know how it is. So I'm like, yo, the same. There's certain things that I could, if I would have put out right now, is the same shit he's talking about now. It's just that at that time we was talking about certain things like that, but my mind wasn't in on his next fight or things of that nature. So I just feel like this is his interpretation of what he's experienced or what he knows, because again, like you said, once you hit that type of level, he's entering to a room that nobody knows about, that nobody could enter. He got a keys to those type of doors that only a few people in that industry, you know. And how many stories, how many weird stories are we going to hear from guys like Dave Chappelle that have talked about it, guys like you know, other artists or other entertainers that have talked about the the powers that be, that type of community, Kanye West. And every time that somebody comes out saying certain things about those community, they put that crazy, that they're crazy.
My thing with Ryan Garcia is, yes, he is popular, but he ain't those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you've never heard of a boxer getting snatched up in these type of these conspiracy theories. You never heard of that.
But remember, he's also an influencer, though. Like,
Nah,
we look at him as a boxer.
Yeah, that's true. He is an influencer, and he is very popular in that regard. But why now? Like, why now? Why right before this fight? There was plenty of times that this could have happened. It's just a lot of question marks, man. It's a lot of question marks. He's already.
Why not though? Why not?
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't know what's going on with him. I pray for him. I wish him the best. I hope that he can get it together. I hope that, you know what I'm saying, whatever he's going through, he gets through it. Because unfortunately, man, what he's going through, you know, doesn't sound like something anybody wants to go through. You know what I'm saying? So he's going through something, man, and hopefully, man, you know, he can get it together. And fuck the boxing part. Let's just get your life in order. Let's get your life together. You know what I'm saying? The boxing shit. Listen, man, we all want entertainment. There's other fighters, you know, unfortunately, you know, it sucks, but you know, I'm more concerned about that kid's well-being than him actually fighting. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Leonardo Rodriguez with the $5 super chat. Says, I hope Ryan makes it to the fight and wins, because I love chaos in boxing, just like I would like to see Bud beat Canelo. Good looking out, Leonardo Rodriguez. Stop playing around with me with that video game fight, Leonardo. But I do think that at least he's using his relevancy. Sometimes these artists comes out and say what they got to say when they're not relevant anymore, and then people think that they're just saying that just to get that clout back, just to get that machine back, or be relevant again. At least he's saying it when he's relevant, so most of the people so a lot of people is listening to him. But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he's in good space. And I think people, when you coach, you work with a lot of fighters, and you working with elite fighters now, especially. Is it different when a fighter is fighting almost every 3 times or twice a week or 5 times a month, because they're in the amateur, so they stay in the gym, they stay active. But then when you become a professional at this level, when you're only fighting 2 times a year, these young fighters are now trying to get to know who they are. They got too much space in their hand. Oh, now who am I? I really got no friends, because come on, it's hard to have friends when you're trying to be a professional fighter. Not everybody is a professional fighter. That's not a normal thing. So you probably have boxing people as your friend, or coaches, or things of that nature. But they always say that boxing is a lonely sport. These guys are now, if they're getting to know themselves, and probably Ryan Garcia have all this time in his hand. He never had just like a Tszyu, just like a Dev, or just like a Shakur. They got all these time in the hand. They on their phone a lot. They're watching what everybody else is saying. They're trying to grow into themselves because all they did was be stuck in the gym and fight. Do you think that's what it is? These guys are getting to know who they are, and it's actually probably shocking people to see that they got a perception of a fighter, but then it's not who they think they supposed to be or who they are.
Hold on. Bring that back a little bit, because I started looking at a comment and it took my brain somewhere else. Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back to where you said I started working with world-class fighters. Bring it to that.
When you work with world-class fighters now, they got a lot of times in their hands. They're not amateurs, and they're not active.
Okay, so they're not as busy.
They're not as busy. But now you have heard even a guy like Earl Spence before the Sean Porter fight said, yo, I've been out for 8 months. I didn't even know what to do. Like, I ain't gonna be stuck in the gym. Like, they didn't know what to do because they just been in the dungeon for such a long time. For as a young fighter like a Ryan Garcia, the Teos, the Shakurs, the Haneys, and stuff like that, they're getting to know who they are now. And some people may be like, oh man, they weird, they crazy, or something like that. But because they have the perception of what these guys are in the ring, but as a person, they're still growing. They're getting to know themselves. What do you feel about that? No, in reference to you being around fighters when they're active and when they're not really active.
I think this is for everybody, man. I think COVID kind of showed all of us that, like, when you got too much time on your hands and you ain't got nothing going on, it's never a good thing. That's the devil's playground. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? When you're bored, boredom is the devil's playground. It's always when you're bored that you start to make decisions that you might not be making when you're constantly working. So my best advice to fighters is stay in the gym. Keep good people around you. Stay in the gym. All the best fighters, they fight, they heal up, they're right back in the gym. You know what I mean? Guys like Bouts, who right now is arguably the best up-and-coming fighter out of all of them. He'll fight on Saturday. If he doesn't take any punishment, he's holding mitts for kids, 12 years old, 13 years old on Monday. So being bored and having too much time on your hands is never a good thing for none of us, all of us. I mean, I've even felt it where I'm like, yo, man, something don't feel right. I got an eerie feeling in my soul because I'm not doing enough. So my advice to the fighters, man, is, I mean, is a transition. It's something you got to learn. That's why a lot of these fighters are immature. A lot of these fighters, they got their childhood stolen from them. So now they become older. And they got this time, they're playing catch up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to say. That's
And you're looking at them play catch up and you're saying, damn, bro, like, you ain't get that out your system? No, I didn't actually. When y'all was getting girls and y'all was going to clubs and y'all was flossing and wearing nice jewelry, I was in a fucking boxing gym all fucking day. And then I would go home, sleep early, wake up, go back to a boxing gym. So that's why when these fighters get rich, they go broke, because they get this money, all these fake people get around them that they're not used to, and then they're like, they want to keep up, right? They want to get down with this rapper who invited them to a party. They want to go out with this girl that they would never have gotten in their life had they not became successful. So this is what's unfortunate for certain people. That's why it's so important for young people to gravitate to older people, because older people can guide you. Older people can show you, yo, you need to chill. I've always had a good instinct to get around older people. All the people that I talk to who advise me, they're 50, 60, 70 years old. So I make sure that I listen to those people before I listen to my peers, because my peers are learning the same way I am. They already went through it. So I'd rather learn from older people. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me personally. But at the same time, man, that's the deal. So fighters have to try to find that one person that you could be honest with, whether that's your mother, your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your friend's father, your friend's mother, whoever. You need to gravitate to somebody you know is going to tell you the truth. It doesn't give a fuck about your fame, doesn't give a fuck about your money, and listen to them, and hopefully they can guide you and keep you on course on those lonely, dark days. You know what I mean?
Facts. You know what's funny, that I think that in society, like, people don't want to admit it, but as a community or as a whole, people want to pick and choose who you want. People want to pick and choose who they want to allow for this particular person to expose the powers that be, right? For example, look at Cat William. Look at the Cat William interview with Club Shay with Shannon Sharp. Oh, everybody was saying, yo, you heard what Cat Williams is saying? Oh, yo, it's true. Oh, yo, it's true. They're giving Cat Williams the benefit of the doubt because he's been in those type of rooms and stuff like that. But if Ryan Garcia says it, you ain't giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe because you just don't want Ryan Garcia to say it. You rather have Cat Williams to say it. Or you don't want this person to say it. And I think that we pick and choose who we want to expose such and such. I think that we ourselves don't keep the same energy. When we call people crazy and we call people mental or whatever and stuff like that, I also think that the boxing fans.
Not to cut you off, I think it has something to do with how you carry yourself too. Like it's kind of like that situation, the boy who cried wolf back in the day. That story they used to tell us. Like, I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia is a liar or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But when you carry yourself with this influencer personality and you're kind of like a goofy. And I say that in respect. I'm not disrespecting Ryan Garcia, but when you act a little goofy, you know, you're doing these tactics, you're doing like the Jake Paul approach, and then you're having mental breakdowns out of nowhere. And then you come back to the sport and you're praising God, but then out of nowhere, you're trolling and you're acting disrespectful and you're talking a certain way and you're acting like you about that street life. And then a week later, you're saying that, you know, you got kidnapped and people freaking out. You're watching people get raped and you're talking to Andrew Tate. It's like, bro, there's too much inconsistencies with your personality, dog. Your personality is all over the place. It ain't like right now, me. I'm being serious. And then one day I hit you up, yo, Punch, bro. You know, I'm a man of my word, bro. This crazy shit just happened. You might listen to me a little bit more realistic because you like, yo, I know Ant never out of pocket like this. He never do no weird shit like this. Why he all of a sudden acting like this? But when you got a guy who's all over the place all the time and then he just, it's like you don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a man of God one day, a gangster the next day, and then you're a victim the next day, and then you're an aggressive person the next day. It's just too much going on. So he kind of did that to himself in a way.
I think, you know, there's some people that does have the experience. You know, sometimes you have those people around you, probably as friends and family. They'd be like, yo, what happened? You know, you wasn't like this. I'll give you a short story. Several years ago during the pandemic, my boy Ronnie that passed away. A couple of months before he passed away, we had a conversation. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, they trying to get me. They trying to kill me. And then I'm like, what? Because I'm a joker as well. So then after he like, nah. And then we just started joking around and stuff like that. So the people in the block be like, yo, Ronnie been off a bit and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I've been knowing Ronnie since he was like 6 years old. He ain't off and stuff like that. He just joking around or whatever, stuff like that. But when he actually said that, and I'm like, why would you say something like that? Then he was telling me his story about how he broke up with his wife, what happened over there in Cali, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to the further details. But when he was saying that in the hood, they're trying to kill me. They're trying to, and then people in the block was like, yo, is he smoking something? Nah, he's going crazy, blah, blah. I still got messages from him that I keep it safe, right? And then they found him in the Hudson River. Not knowing what happened and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to look for him for a couple months. But how about if we would have took him serious when he was trying to say that somebody was trying to kill me? You know what I'm saying?
That's why I mean,
so we don't, you know, that's what you said in the beginning.
But that's why I come from an era, and so do you. I mean, that's why you said, yo, don't play like that. Like that was something that I remember being heard growing up. Like you say some crazy shit, yo, don't play like that. Don't play like that. So therefore, we know we already checked you. We said don't play like that. So you know how to come at me. So if you come to me, Punch, and you say something like that to me, I'm gonna say, yo, Punch, don't play like that, bro. And you're gonna know I'm not playing. Once you tell me you're not playing, and I already told you don't play like that. Now we understand. All right, bro, you know what you just told me, right? You just told me they trying to kill you, dog. So now that you gave me this information, this is gonna go somewhere else. So don't even give me that information if you're not dead ass serious about that. So that's why when people say certain things, that's kind of where that came from back in the day, where they'd be like, yo, don't play like that, man. And you already knew. You knew. Don't play like that. So That's why, like, the whole laughing and shit after saying some shit like that, that's where it got fucked up at. If it would have got checked right there, don't play like that, he would have never said it again, or he would have hit you like, yo, bro, I'm dead ass.
Or he would have played it like he played it with everybody else. Once you be like, really, then there's the conversation. Really, what's going on at the moment? Yeah, but really, what's going on? Nah, nothing.
He
Because
was trying to tell y'all, but he didn't want to tell y'all. He knew.
because you feel like that vibe was like, when you know somebody for a long time, then it's, you don't know if they joking, we don't know, or maybe somebody, people that tell a joke, but it's really real, or when they trying to say something
Yeah, I
indirectly,
hate that's why I try not to, like, there's certain jokes I try not to entertain from people. Like, I'll entertain jokes. I'm all about joking, but I'm gonna pay attention to key words. I'm gonna pay attention to key things that you're telling me. And if I feel like something was off with what you said, or you went a little bit too far with a joke, I'll probably take you to the side on some personal shit and be like, yo, I know you was joking earlier, but what you mean by that? So I've been known to do that throughout my whole life, whether it's somebody saying an indirect joke at me and I feel like they being disrespectful, or if they're talking about themselves in a way where I'm concerned. I'll always be like, yo, what you meant by that, man? What you was saying earlier. I know you said you was playing, but yo, let's dig deeper into this. And then hopefully I can get the answer I'm looking for so we can address it. Because if you my man and you going through something, or you my homegirl, my girl, whatever, I want to know what's going on. Maybe I can help you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there's certain things. That's why as adults, we have to make sure we pay attention to what people are saying and take shit serious, especially if they're people we love.
Yeah, man. Just in case if people don't know what I'm just in case if people think that I'm just playing around, that's my boy.
Yeah, rest in peace to him, brother. I'm sorry for your loss.
So heading talking about the potential.
On a positive note, there was a lesson learned in that friendship that I'm sure if something ever came across your table again similar, you probably will go about it a different way or something, because you got that experience now. So
go about it a different way. That's what I listened to when I was saying Ryan Garcia, and he's like, they trying to right away. I'm like,
that's why why you think I gave him the benefit of the doubt? I said, listen, I don't know if he's bugging. I really don't. I'm not gonna be one of these guys who immediately jump to conclusion and say, yo, he was drunk, yo, he was high, yo, he's scared, yo. I'm not gonna say none of that. All I'm gonna say is I hope he gets better, and I hope he deals with whatever he's dealing with, because he might be telling us the fucking truth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not there. You feel me?
The stack division, 140-pound division, 154-pound division, 135-pound division. Of course, who you think when the smoke clears out, who is the best at 135?
My man, it's gonna come down to Tank and Shakur.
Who wins?
It's gonna come down to Tank and Shakur. I mean, Shakur. The reason why I put Shakur up there is because if he doesn't want to get hit, that kid's not getting hit. He showed that already. If that kid goes in defense mode, you're gonna have a nightmare trying to hit this motherfucker. And Tank, if he hits you, he gonna put you with a good Lord split you, right? So it's one of those situations where it comes down to who can get what off. Devin Haney, as good as he is, I think he can't be beat by those guys. So
I was gonna go to the 140 because he's 140. I was gonna ask.
Oh, he's 140. My bad. I consider all those guys the same. Bro. I'm gonna be honest. Everybody from Tank to Teofimo to Devin to Javante, those are all the same group in my opinion. They might be 5 pounds apart, but
so when the smoke clears out of all of them, out of Tank, Shakur, Teo, Haney, should we put Ryan on the mix? We gotta wait till this fight. Should we put him in the mix or not yet?
Yeah, I mean, out of all those guys, man, I think it comes down to Shakur. I mean, Teofimo is a big threat, but the problem with Teofimo is we know how to beat him. We know how to beat Teofimo. We don't know how to beat Shakur. We don't know how to beat Devin. Or actually, we kind of do. but we don't really know how to beat Devin. We don't know how to beat Shakur, and we don't know how to beat Gervonta Davis because they haven't been beat. We can say whatever we want. We can speculate. They're undefeated. Where Teofimo Lopez, he only has one loss in a fight that I don't think he really should have lost. I think that everything he said was the truth, but I do think he was exposed in his last fight with Jermaine Ortiz. With who else is in the division? Ryan Garcia, we know how to beat him.
I would love for Gary Antoine Russell for his career to you know what I'm saying, manifest to the expectations. He should be up there, but I don't know.
But at the same time, what makes that shit so interesting is that all those guys can beat each other on any given night. Facts. I could see Teofimo beating Tank. I could see Teofimo beating Shakur with, you know, I could see Shakur beating Teofimo. I could see Shakur beating Tank. I could see Tank beating Shakur. I could see Devin Haney beating Shakur. I could see Shakur beating Devin Haney.
That's the beauty of it, man. That's
like that division is that fucking good. Like, I'm gonna combine those two into one division. Those guys are all so fucking good. They can all beat each other on any given night. So that's why I love it. And it's kind of like a throwback type of competition level with those guys. Like, those guys remind me of the 90s, the early 2000s, the late 80s. Like, if we could just get them to all say, fuck our record, we just gonna all fight each other, you're gonna get mixed match wins all throughout that shit.
Shout out to Leonardo Rodriguez. Said, Coach, what you think about Inoue coming to the division? Will you welcome that fight, Inoue versus Raymond Ford, 126, if he moves up one division up?
Oh, I mean, I was asked this question before, Leonardo and Punch, but I'm gonna be honest. Of course, we would entertain it because, first of all, that would be a really big purse. That would be a freaking purse that I'm sure Raymond's not gonna turn down. Second of all, I think if Raymond properly prepares, he can fight anybody. Not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, Raymond will dominate Inoue. We all know Inoue is a fantastic fucking fighter. He's a fucking, you know, he's a great. Let's just be honest. The kid is fucking phenomenal. But Raymond is also very fucking good. And with the right training camp and the right sparring, Raymond can beat Inoue. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He can beat Inoue, but Inoue could beat Raymond if Raymond's not fully prepared. It becomes one of those things where the better prepared fighter wins. And I'm sure if we got enough time and the right money, Ray jumps on that fight just like that. No problem. There will be no ducking, no hiding. I can guarantee you that.
Hey, I think with that type of momentum, you know, who's going to be fighting Luis Neri. You know, if he beats Luis Neri, to be honest, I think that he should move. He's so good. I don't see nobody beating him in 122 pounds. So in 126 pounds, Raymond Ford, Naoya Inoue. Ooh, let's make it happen, Coach. Let's make it happen, Coach.
Listen, again, if you give Raymond enough time, if you don't sneak attack him and try to get him in a fucking short notice, if you give him enough time and he's fully fucking functional and prepared and understands the assignment, and you're paying him properly, the fight gets made. No doubt about it.
Hey, yo, Raymond Ford versus Stephen Fulton is a good fight, too.
I like that fight. I got Raymond. I think Raymond wins that fight. Clearly. I'll go on the record and say that. But Stephen Fulton, good local fighter. Much respect to him. But I don't think he could beat Raymond.
Now, one of the guys that's been very critical about this, I call video game fight. There's some people that agree with me. There's some people that don't agree with me. Bud Crawford versus Canelo. I feel that's 3 divisions up. It's not about just the skills. It's about the size as well. Pause. I don't think that that's a good matchup for Bud Crawford. I think that's more of a cash out fight. What do you feel about Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168?
I disagree with you. I think that Bud Crawford, I believe that Bud Crawford is extremely strong for his division. So I don't think that the weight difference is as big as an issue as you think it is. I believe that he might be taller than Canelo. Is he? Is he taller?
Everybody's taller than Canelo. Even Floyd is taller than Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, so you got a taller fighter, an extremely strong fighter. Like, we all know Crawford is freakishly strong for his weight. A guy who could switch, a guy who could fight southpaw and orthodox, a guy who was a wrestler, so he understands how to tie up and clinch, okay, when the going gets tough. A dog, we all know that he'll bite down on his mouthpiece when it's time to mix it up. All right. He got boxing ability. He got boxing ability, and he could fucking punch. So you got a guy who has it all.
Come on, flip it.
Hold on. And he's a winner. More importantly than anything I just said, the fucking guy's a winner. When we talk about guys like Crawford, you got to put him in the same category as Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, guys that win, guys that figure out ways to win, guys that will go through hell to win. He's that kind of guy. Now, Canelo, fantastic fighter, very good fighter. Can he beat Crawford? Yes, he can as well. Not saying that Crawford will beat him easily, but has trouble with a jab, has trouble with good footwork, has trouble with southpaws. We already seen that Crawford can bring all those elements to the table. He could bring them all to the table. So, do I think Crawford has a chance in that fight? 150%. Yes, he does.
Minus 149%. Minus 149.
And honestly, bro, I hope that they can make that fucking. I'd rather see that fight than the Boots Ennis Crawford fight. I would rather see Crawford fight Canelo as a goodbye fight for both of them. They should say, "What more can I say?" And just play that.
Hey, yo, Coach Anthony, here's some Old Spice. Clean yourself up. Clean yourself up right now with that.
They should both come out to the same song, Jay-Z, "What More Can I Say?" And they should call that their very last fight, and they should just fight each other. Winner retires, loser retires. Call it a fucking day. That would be fucking epic. We've never seen nothing like that. Where two of the best fighters in the game retire at the same time. They fight each other and they call it quits. That's the fight to make.
Your imagination is all good. I'll watch Peter Pan as well. I can't.
In comments, hold on. People in the comments, am I bugging or is Punch bugging? Let's see it in the comments.
I got my take. I know the people listening to me, right? Canelo Alvarez. We're talking about the 4-division world champion, super middleweight, undisputed. We're talking about the guy that's arguably has the best resume of this era. We also talking about that probably historically, probably got one of the best chin or probably top 5, top 10 chins in the history of the sport of boxing. We also saw Canelo Alvarez this past fall versus Jermell Charlo, the 154-pound king, undisputed king, who is taller, who is stronger. Well, we could debate the stronger, but we see Jermell Charlo's the Iron Man, strong man. Looked very, very small come fight night. Yeah, in the weigh-in, yeah, he probably did look good, but come fight night, I went to the fight. Canelo Alvarez rehydrated 15 pounds over. People forget about the rehydration. People forget that Canelo Alvarez.
Will there be a rehydration?
I'll let you speak. Canelo Alvarez got hit with arguably the best punchers of this generation in Triple G. Nothing happened. Got punched by Sergey Kovalev, moving up to the 175 pounds. Pop, pop, pop. Nothing happened. What is Bud Crawford going to do to Canelo Alvarez? What is he going to do? Look, 3 divisions up. I'm not done. Bud Crawford is just like in Coming to America. Remember the time when he said, Bud Crawford is good, but as bad as Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford ain't shit. And then you're gonna come with, well, he beat Errol Spence's ass. We're living in La La Land, folks. We wasn't thinking about no Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez until he beat Errol Spence from Political Post. Errol Spence ain't no goddamn Canelo Alvarez. I didn't think that Errol Spence could beat Jermell Charlo. We was talking about before Canelo Alvarez fighting Errol the True Spence, the potential fight for Bud Crawford was Josh Taylor moving up, which Teofimo Lopez beat. Virgil Ortiz, who was a WBO mandatory precision. Boots Ennis. Earl Spence. Ain't no Canelo Alvarez. What has gone wrong with you people? Huh? I know it looked good. I know he beat up Earl Spence from pillar to post. I know he called himself the big fish, and Bud Crawford only got to go to the damn deli or the supermarket and find the tuna fish on aisle 9. I know he ain't had to go out there and go fishing like that. But we talking about Canelo. Now, it's either this. In conclusion, Mr. Coach. In conclusion, the reason maybe you're saying this about Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is because you probably lost respect for Canelo Alvarez. Maybe you ain't see Canelo Alvarez as a dangerous fighter like that. Or maybe you see what probably other people see, that he's declined substantially to think that a man is going to move up 3 divisions up. Bud Crawford got Hall of Fame skills, first ballot Hall of Fame accomplishment, but he doesn't have a first ballot Hall of Fame resume. Proceed. Go ahead. Talk to me.
I agree with you in a lot of what you're saying as far as all that goes. But when we look at fighters, we gotta look at we gotta pass the eye test, and Crawford passes the eye test. He didn't just beat Errol Spence, he dismantled Errol Spence. He made that fight look extremely easy. The same Errol Spence that beat Danny Garcia right before he fought Terrence Crawford. Okay. Now we know that Canelo has problems with southpaw. We've seen guys like Andrew Trout. What the hell's Trout's first name?
Austin Trout.
We seen guys like Austin Trout. We seen guys like Austin Trout trouble him. We seen him lose to Floyd Mayweather. We seen him lose
not a southpaw.
No, but boxer, footwork, skills,
defense. You trying to say that Bud Crawford got the defense, the wizardness?
Yeah, defense. Nobody has Floyd Mayweather defense, but let's just be honest. Crawford has defense. Crawford also, in my opinion, punches harder than Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't need to be 165 pounds to get your attention. I'm gonna give you an inside thing about Boots Ennis. Jerome Boots Ennis has knocked out a few heavyweights that you know with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on. I'm not going to say the names. I'm not going to expose it because...
Oh, you playing that Ryan Garcia role? You don't want to say the names?
But I'm telling you...
Come on, Tekashi 6ix9ine, tell us the name.
I'm telling you and I'm telling your people that Jerron's Boots Ennis has knocked out heavyweights, not cruiserweights, heavyweights with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on. Knocked them out. Good night, wake them up, gotta go. You've seen them fight on TV. So you don't have to be the same weight to hurt a guy, is what my point is. Crawford brings sharp shooting skills. He is a game day fighter. He's a winner. Canelo's a little slow. Now, I don't know if Canelo's slower, but Canelo's not going to be able to just walk through Crawford if that's what you think is going to happen. So when you say Crawford doesn't have a chance, I'm not saying Crawford's going to win. I want the people to understand that as well. But he has a hell of a chance to win. And I want to make sure I'm clear that if he wins, I'm not surprised. And closer to the fight, I probably will pick Crawford if they ever fought. I probably will pick Crawford. If you put my back against the wall and say, Anthony, make a decision, I think I'm going to have to pick Crawford.
Terrence Bud Crawford, you didn't. Hey, you know what I'm going to say to Terrence Bud Crawford? Terrence Bud Crawford, do not fight nobody. Don't fight nobody until you get Canelo Alvarez. You know why? Because the illusion that people have after that performance. If you fight anybody else,
who do you got winning? Keith Thurman? Who do you got winning? Keith Thurman or my boy, the Australian kid?
Tszyu. I got
Tszyu. Who you got winning that fight?
I'm rooting for Thurman.
You're rooting for Thurman. But who are you picking if your back's against the wall and your house is on the line?
Tim.
You're picking Tim. Okay.
Why?
I think I know why.
I don't think that my why is probably way different than yours. Nobody's talking about the why. I've been following I've been following Keith Thurman since the amateurs.
Keith Thurman got the better resume.
He got the better resume, got the better experience and things of that nature, but he's been out for 2 years. And this is what I see different. When Keith Thurman, after the Manny Pacquiao performance, he did a podcast and he said that he couldn't find the killer instinct. Okay, you give him a pass one time and stuff like that. Versus Mario Barrios, if you listen to him, and I went to the fight. After the fight in the press conference, he said, I need to probably change the way that my mind is at because I'm not thinking like before. I didn't have the killer instinct versus Mario Barrios, and I don't have the killer instinct in the gym. I don't go all out with my sparring. If I hurt him, I don't want to. If in your biggest night versus Pacquiao, you couldn't find the killer instinct. A couple of years from there, you couldn't find the killer instinct in Mario Barrios in your pay-per-view fight. What makes me think that the killer instinct is going to show up versus Tszyu? That's the only thing. The skills, I believe that Keith Thurman got better skills.
He's always had the killer instinct, though, except for one fight, though. Every other
no, but
fight,
that's what I'm saying. No, he publicly said he don't have. He publicly stated that with Pacquiao, and he publicly stated that after the fight with Mario Barrios. When you can't find that, and look for Manny Pacquiao, that's 2019. Mario Barrios 2021.
I thought he looked good against Mario Barrios.
No, he looked good. He won every round. I had great seats. But also when the fighter is telling you that, and he wasn't happy about his performance, and he's telling himself, basically he's saying, I just can't find it. Is a guy that's trying to find that, and he can't find that. What makes me think now that Dan Birmingham, he retired. So in the corner, shout out to I think that his cornerman is a new dude that he been training with when they was kids or whatever, that's cool with Ben Getty. But I just don't, the Thurman that I know, he got all the skills, but I don't see that eye of the tiger. And if you don't got the eye of the tiger in 154 versus Tszyu, who has great momentum, had a great year of beating Tony Harrison, beating Mendoza, beating Carlos Ocampo, the momentum is going to Tszyu. But I believe that Keith Thurman got the better skills. You told me if I had my house right now, probably Tszyu, but I like
Tszyu's skill set arguably better than Keith Thurman. Also, I think Keith Thurman, is mobile, in and out, comes with combinations, but I think Tszyu's more of a guy who can stand in the pocket, upper body, shoulder rolls. Like Tszyu's like a mixture of his dad with like a little bit of slickness, like where it's like he's like the modernized version of his father. You know what I mean?
If the eye of the tiger Keith Thurman shows up, I see this fight almost exactly how I saw Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. I saw that Danny, yes, he's good, but he can't dance with Keith. With the foot, he just can't dance with him. And I feel like Tszyu can't dance with Keith Thurman. Maybe he could punch with him, but he can't dance with him.
Yeah, he's not going to be as mobile on his feet at all, because that's not his style. But he's got better upper body movement than Keith, though. Keith is kind of a basic in and out type of a fighter, like ga ga ga, and then he's like left, ga ga ga, he's right. You don't see Keith like slip and bend the waist and do little slick inside pocket things that I know Tszyu could do. So
awkward though. Keith Thurman awkward when he
Keith Thurman's awkward. I got Tszyu winning that fight as well. So let me ask you: do you think Crawford could beat those guys?
I think that in their A game, I always thought that Bud Crawford. I got you right now, Leonardo Rodriguez. I always thought that Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman was the ultimate chess match at welterweight. Always felt like that for years. I never thought that it was a Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence. I thought that Keith Thurman could beat Earl Spence. Believe that Keith Thurman is better than Earl Spence. Got better attributes. It's just styles. I feel like the footwork of Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman would have been nice to see. Even Bomac says that Keith Thurman would have been a tougher opponent. Bernie the Boxer, the whole Crawford team feels that Keith Thurman was always a harder opponent on paper than the Earl of True Spin. So if Keith Thurman beats Tszyu, and Keith Thurman is looking like Keith one-time Thurman, the Don't Dunk Me son, Keith one-time Thurman, Samson Thurman, Ponytail Thurman. Bud Crawford versus Keith one-time Thurman is the ultimate fight, and then people could stop talking about this Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford shenanigans.
They're never gonna fight anyway. I don't think Canelo's gonna do it, because he said it. If I beat him, I get nothing for it, and I agree.
I'm gonna say it like this: if it wasn't for the Jamel Chandler versus Canelo Alvarez fight, but that right there for me should have given the people the indication of, yo, I don't know why people don't respect Jermell Charlo for whatever reason. I don't understand. I don't understand. I feel like if you look at the 154-pound division and his resume, he cleared that division out. He cleared that division out from Austin Trout to Charles Hatley to Rosado to Jason Rosario to Brian Castano, who beat these guys in the amateur.
I think his best win was Brian Castano.
Yeah, me too. And Brian Castano, a lot of people thought that he beat Lopez. He did beat Patrick Tszyu when people feel like Patrick Tszyu was supposed to be the next guy at 154. People were talking about Patrick Tszyu the way they're talking about Tszyu now. And he and Brian Castano beat Patrick Tszyu to become champion. So I don't understand why people don't find Jermell Charlo. I don't know. I don't understand the hate. But once you saw that, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo like, yo, he just ain't feel the punches. His punches is different up here. It's just different. I couldn't rehydrate more than 6-7 pounds. This guy's Bud Crawford is coming from 147. Minus all the skills is there. And it's just like I told Shakur Stevenson. I wouldn't tell where to go to 135 and fight Tszyu, even though that he got the skills in the world. I never thought that Floyd Mayweather was gonna, because we want Floyd Mayweather to call out Andre Ward when he was at 168, when Floyd Mayweather was 147.
Yeah, there's a difference though. Andre Ward didn't start at 147 the way Canelo did. I think
15 years old though. Remember he became pro at 15. He was 147 at 15 years old.
Yeah, that's true. But listen, Crawford can easily go up in weight. He just chooses to stay at 147. I mean, and you got to remember that Crawford wouldn't have to cut much to make 168, where Canelo still probably has to cut. Canelo's probably coming down from 200. So you got to think, man.
So let me ask you. All right. So let me ask you this question, because I even did a poll, and most of the people felt Bud. Demetrius Andre versus Bud Crawford. Who wins?
Demetrius Andre versus Bud Crawford.
Bud Crawford at 168.
At 168. It's a tough fucking fight for Crawford. Stylistically, Andrade throws a lot more. He has that height. That's a tough fight for Bud. I think that's a tougher fight for Bud than Canelo, honestly.
You know what people said on the poll? They said Bud. Only 30+% people chose Demetrius Andre.
No, I think Boo Boo Andrade being tall, being very active, being sharp. I think I just look at that style and I say that's actually a more difficult style, because we know that Canelo likes to wait. Canelo will kind of wait, hit you with a feint, come up with a big hook, or drop low, feint with an overhand, or give you one of these and shoot a hook to the body. It's a tricky style that Canelo has, but it's not an activity-based style where Andrade is going to be, bah, 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 you know what I'm saying? And Crawford's going to have to deal with a lot, where with Canelo, Crawford kind of pick a jab, move, tie him up, left hand or right hand, tie him up. You know what I'm saying? He can weather that storm a little bit better than a guy who's going to be punching.
And that's why I do feel, and probably some people don't want to admit it, that the performance that Bud had with Earl Spence has given this type of aura that he could move up 3 divisions, because we wasn't. Even Bud Crawford himself had an interview when they even asked him a question. He looked at the interview like he was stupid. He said, I'm 147, Canelo 168. That would never happen, because it was never, he felt it was a dumb question, but because he beat Earl Spence in the way, it's now wow, I think we're slave. I think collectively people are being a slave to the moment. That's just my opinion, because I just never heard this conversation, even as a competitive fight at 168. But I do see the winner of Tszyu versus and Thurman fighting Bud. I do see a boots. I argue with people. People said that Tio was crazy for being a 140, calling out the 147. But Bud ain't crazy calling out Canelo. And that's 3 divisions up. Of course, his performance is momentum that garners a mega fight, or the illusion that this is a mega fight. That's what we want to see.
You know what's crazy? I like a Teofimo Crawford fight. I seen Teofimo was calling him out. I don't think Teofimo's out of pocket for calling him out. But the problem with Teofimo against Crawford is Teofimo is used to knocking guys out when he hits them. And I just don't know if that's going to translate when he goes up in weight. Where Crawford never been a guy who tries to knock you out with one punch. Crawford has always been a game day fighter who makes adjustments as the fight progresses. And Teofimo has seemed, as of recently, a guy who has fell in love with his power and has abandoned some of the fundamentals that's needed to set up the power. He doesn't set up the power as he can. Like a lot of people say Teofimo can't cut off the ring. I don't agree with that. I always said Teofimo can cut off the ring. The problem is with Teofimo is he's fell in love with his power, and it's one of the biggest dangers a fighter can have is to fall in love with their power because they abandon things that set up the power. And when you get to a world-class championship level of boxing, you're not going to knock everybody out. And as you move up in weight, you're definitely not going to knock everybody out. So even when Manny Pacquiao moved up in weight, when he was a really small fighter and he moved up in weight, he was knocking people out, but he was putting punches together. He was using speed. He was doing things that the bigger fighters weren't used to. Teofimo was just standing there trying to just, and it's like, if he was to take that away and just get back to setting up his jab, you know, finding his fighter with his jab, a little in and out with his feet, a little bit more just, I'm not going to try to knock you out. I just want to land my punches. Teofimo could be a bigger threat in boxing.
I think if he doesn't prematurely approach a particular fight that he wants to put on a show, he wants to entertain, he has that, that's the gear that, okay, I'm going to go to Sando Martin. This is my fight, Madison Square Garden. They gave me the big room. I want to put on a show because it's more, it's important. Certain fighters, not important for them to entertain the fans. For Teo, and I know Teo, it's very important for him. He wants to put on a show. He wants to be the showman. That was the leader fight to the Jermaine Ortiz. He wants to be in that line.
But he's forgetting that it takes two to tango.
No. Let me finish.
Okay.
So when he fought Lomachenko, he didn't give a fuck about that. It was the pandemic. I don't care. Ain't nobody here. My objective is to win. Do the right thing. Josh Taylor, my objective was to win. It was not to put on a show. My objective is to win. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feel like it's not for me to put on a show. It's not for me to do. It's to win. When it came to Jermaine Ortiz, the lead up to the fight, the objective is to entertain, and then when Jermaine Ortiz ain't giving you that, then the frustration comes in. When Sando Martin ain't giving you that, the frustration is that, damn, you didn't entertain. You ain't put on the Roy Jones Jr. show that the Prince Nassim that I wanted to put. When you premature, you got, and that's why I think that why he didn't look exceptional on those type of fights, in my opinion. I don't think it was skills. I think it was the approach mentally.
He did well. That if you're correct, let's just assume everything you're saying is 100% fact. Then he needs to change that like today, because at the end of the day, he can still make a lot of money as long as he keeps winning. We saw Floyd Mayweather not, quote unquote, entertain the fans the way
they wanted to.
Fans wanted to be entertained, and he became the highest paid boxer in history. And matter of fact, sports history, the highest paid athlete. So my thing is, win, brother, win, win. He has enough punching power to knock out anybody. So why not just set up the punching power? Why not just go out there, utilize your jab, put the punches together, and let the knockouts naturally happen? When you go out there and you try to knock people out and it doesn't happen, you get results like the Jermaine Ortiz fight, where you got guys like me going publicly saying it wasn't a fair decision and a lot of controversy, and he doesn't have to.
He beat Jermaine Ortiz, Coach Andy. He beat him up.
He doesn't have to have those kind of performances, because, in my opinion, he's very capable. And I do believe in his skill set. And I made sure that I'm very public about that. A lot of people think that I have some sort of a hate toward Teo or something. I'm like, bro, I don't know the man to hate the man. I'm just speaking from an unbiased boxing mind. That's all I'm doing. But I will unbiasedly admit that he has great boxing skills. I just feel like he neglects it at times.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But Coach Anthony, Everybody follow Coach Anthony in his social media platform, Instagram, YouTube, anything. You go get his classes and stuff like that online. Go tell the people, Coach. Tell the people.
Yeah, you guys can follow me. I'm very active on Instagram at Coach Anthony, one word. My YouTube channel is Coach Anthony Boxing, pretty easy to find. And my website is CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. I sell individual courses teaching everybody from the everyday guy who knows nothing about boxing to the more advanced courses. You can get them all at one time. I actually got a super 75% sale right now since we just won the world championship with Raymond Ford. The sale code is and the new 75. And the new 75. You can go ahead and get all 16 of my courses for 75% off. It's really just a ridiculously cheap price, but I'm so super excited. I just want to spread my knowledge with the world. And thank you for the love and support.
That's what I'm talking about, Coach. That's what I'm talking about, Coach. Can't wait to see you back in that corner. And can't wait to see a larger stable. Fighters,
you,
already know who
I'm working on it. I'm definitely motivated, to say the least. I know we spoke in the past where I'm like, man, I ain't worried about getting fighters, but I have a different mindset toward that right now. This weekend has motivated me to open and extend my arms to more fighters if they're interested in working with me. So if there's any pros out there that watch your channel, that maybe you're in between coaches or something like that, and me and you can come to an agreement, if I really believe I can help you, we could definitely see if we can make that happen.
That goes Coach Ann. Good looking out, my brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me, y'all. Thank you, and peace and love to everybody.
Peace out, brother. Peace out. I'm about to shut this one down, y'all. Later, brother. Let me put this little clip. The argument that Subriel Matias and Michelle Rivera's dad had. Listen up. Hey, Subriel Matias, manda el contrato a Teofimo Lopez. Vamos, Subriel Matias, que la mano está bien ahora. La mano está bien. What happened?
Enviar un mensaje breve. Y esto va dedicado para Miguel Rivera, el papá de la salsa. Él logró llamar la atención de mi promotor. Es interesante eso, porque a mi promotor no todo el mundo le llega. Y él, sin vergüenza, se le hizo un ofrecimiento para, ¿verdad? Él avale la mierda que está hablando sobre una pelea del hijo contra mí. Y adivinen qué pasó, mis fanáticos. No quiso. ¿Por qué? No sabemos. Y tiene más de 4 meses para prepararse, no hay excusa. Ahora bien, Miguel, el varón 50, vamos a decirle que así es como lo conoce el mundo del boxeo. Te dejé en tu inbox un mensaje y te lo envié yo. Quiero que tú lo publiques si quieres y hagas un podcast y les expliques a tus fanáticos el por qué no aceptaste la pelea. Bendiciones, campeón. Y no hables mucha mierda si no la vas a avalar. Yo digo algo y lo cumplo. Aprende de mí.
Señores, mira, tengo un quille encima, de verdad que sí, como decimos aquí en Dominicana. Juan Orengo, promotor de Matías, eres de lo peor. Óigame, Juan Orengo, que usted no está preparado para buscar un boxeador élite. No ande haciendo tramas sucias y asquerosas para luego mandar al bufón de Matías a hablar mierda por ahí por las redes para decir que el papá de Michelle La Salsa Lee le cogió miedo. Usted es una mierda, Matías. Usted no ha peleado con un boxeador que tenga más nombre que La Salsa. Ahora, gánale a Michelle, pero peleando en los Estados Unidos y hagan una propuesta decente, no en Puerto Rico. ¿Entienden? Si van a pelear en Puerto Rico, ya ustedes saben cuánto ustedes tienen que pagar, pero no es conmigo que tienen que discutirlo, porque La Salsa tiene su equipo. Llámenlo. Buenos babosos, los dos.